Transmitting to you from Old Heart Radio.
Yay. Hey,
Hello?
you know what episode it is?
Wait, what episode is it?
It's episode 50.
50. Holy shit.
Holy shit. It's getting real. We made it.
We've made it, my friend. 50. It's like, it's nice to feel like half a century old episodically.
Oh, yeah.
There it is.
There it is.
Wait, I got a bunch. There's a bottle rocket here. Pork pop.
We're bringing it back to the olden days here.
Yep.
Right when we started recording this.
Wait, hold on. What else is on here? Oh, that's.
Do you still have the Mr. T soundboard?
Oh man, it's somewhere. I wish Mr. T's not in the house at the moment. But yeah, like I wish he'd. I wish Mr. T would pop by for a guest spot a little more often.
That would be the banger of the banger local yokels.
Dude, does Mr. T have an Instagram? Because if so,
dude,
our Old Heart Radio Instagram should reach out to him and ask him to be on an episode.
Excuse me. Can you speak on your landmark performance in Rocky 3?
Oh my God. How did it feel to be the toughest son of a gun in the 80s? Like, dude, he was like, anyway.
Yeah, I can't, it doesn't look like he has been.
No. Oh, Mr. T. Of course not.
What a shame.
What a damn
So,
shame.
episode 50.
Yeah, episode 50.
Episode
like
50.
I said.
And in a shocking turn of events, we have a shit ton of Marvel to talk about.
Yeah, right. I really think that lately, Marvel has been leaking more and more and like putting more and more out there. Like not only in like hype for WandaVision to launch at the end of the year,
yeah,
but to kind of counter for DC's fandom, which is still a dumb name, I thought. But
well, I actually think like the little sprinkling of Marvel that we're getting for those who aren't able to watch this. Mm-hmm. Everyone else but me and Jared. I just salted. I just did Salt Bay when I said sprinkling. I mean, I actually think the sprinkling of the news is better. It keeps people interested for longer. If you drop everything at once, you're getting punched in the face of the news for a week.
Hype's there, then hype dies.
Dude, you gotta look at the Google Trends. That shit goes down.
It's true, man, and I think that's why I like. Although I appreciate it a lot, like DC put out a lot, and I was thinking about this before we recorded. For whatever it's worth, I'm one of those like DC till I die kind of people.
Yeah,
and maybe that was just because like those were my main comic books when I was a kid. I love Marvel, don't get me wrong, but like I'm not going to ever lose hope for DC. And
dude, I don't think. Anybody that is so strictly against one of these companies is an idiot, because the more good stuff we get, that's what everybody wants. You should want everything to succeed.
I know, exactly.
In a perfect world, there wouldn't be a bad film. But thankfully, this is an imperfect world, so we have stuff to talk about.
Yeah, the room does exist in this imperfect world.
Oh my God.
But yeah, I'm just, I think that DC will get it right eventually. They're on their way. They have some exciting stuff coming along.
Yeah.
But
Should we start off with the DC news?
Yeah, let's just hop in there because I like
couple things
really, because like I said, the hype was all fandom, and now it's just kind of like it's a little stream coming out. A little stream of news trickling out.
There it is.
But Wonder Woman 84 is probably the next DC movie to pop out, right? And but they've announced that like it's going to pretty much strictly be released in theater. And I'm really just like curious as to like why they think that's a good move when people are still so fucking wary. Well, I guess in some places, man. I mean, I don't know.
Dude, I mean, like, it's one of those, like, it's going to depend on where it's at. Some places might be successful. Yeah. Sadly, I think I can speak for both of us in saying that neither of us are comfortable going to the movies right now.
No, yeah, it sucks, dude. I was like, I miss going to the movies, and I would love to go see Wonder Woman 84 in the theater.
Yeah.
If I didn't worry about catching a virus while I was there.
Dude, I mean,
other times.
We've seen Disney's announced their second big film that's going to be dropping exclusively on Disney Plus. So Pixar's Soul.
Oh yeah, dude.
So that's going to be just on Disney Plus. I'm blown away that they aren't doing the same thing as Disney Plus, but like on HBO Max.
Yeah,
where it's like Wonder Woman's there, but you have to like pay a bit.
It seems like such a missed opportunity. I think people are going to get more used to that idea.
Yeah,
you know, because
I do think $30 is too much though.
Yeah, I mean, I think
I can make a stronger argument for 20, you know?
For sure. Because you know, it's one of those things, like if you know, we've talked about it before, like if you're thinking about going out, you basically hack away the price for, you know, your popcorn and shit like that. Like,
yeah, it's I will say, admittedly, like I'm spending $30 to $35 every time I go to the theater, at least.
Yeah, but that's all accoutrement, you know, with the movie. It's
frankly, if you're at home, like you're watching you're losing a lot of the novelty of it. This is like unlike Lindsey Graham, you can hold it against me. I defended Mulan's $30 price point right when that was coming out. But then I watched Mulan and I thought it was fine initially. Mm-hmm. And then it baked into me. I disliked it more and more. So, and I don't think that a theatrical film is worth that much. It is worth $30 at the drop. It seems egregious. I can still make the argument for the cost of like buying two $10 tickets.
For sure.
But but like anything more than that, I feel like because you're not watching it on a big ass screen with a kick ass sound system.
Yeah.
Like you're losing that experience.
Well, and that we saw was like exactly the issue with Tenet.
Yeah.
And Christopher Nolan's, you know,
I think it ended up making like
film.
Last time I saw it was like around 250 mil.
Which if it wasn't during this pandemic, that movie would be killing it.
It would be $1 billion movie.
Absolutely. Yeah. And you know, like he's probably the first person to admit that you shouldn't be introduced to that movie on your home screen.
Dude, as much as I want to see Tenet,
same.
Like I won't until it's released on digital. Like I'm just not comfortable with it.
Well, yeah, I'm not comfortable going to the theater to see it, but I'm also kind of disheartened to see it in general because it's like it's meant to be taken in that aspect.
Yeah, exactly.
And so like you just seem to lose so much in that. And
dude,
you know, Nolan's films are like notorious for being just like, I mean, they push the bound, like they push cinema in direction each time you make a fucking movie, you know. So the dude is an artist. Absolutely.
In contemporary filmmaking. So it's truly disappointing. Like there are some very high quality films that you can watch on a TV and still get the experience.
Yeah, for sure.
But something at such a scale as what Chris Nolan does, you lose it as soon as you watch it on normal TV.
Yeah. So I guess the question is, does the want to like check out his newest work outweigh the want to take it in that environment? Like, you know, are you so curious as to like watch the movie that it's like, fuck it, I don't care, I'm gonna watch it on my TV? Dude,
at this, I will watch it when it comes out on my TV.
Yeah.
I've
watched movies on my fucking phone before just because I was bored. What's the fucking problem with watching? I mean, you know,
there are like I'll watch it because I will still want to watch Tenet. I will acknowledge that it won't be the same experience to a point, but I'll still want to watch it. And this is also like I'm in the mindset that it's like really irresponsible to even be in a theater. Yeah, at this point,
I am too.
Especially in the US, like just it's dangerous for everyone around.
Yeah.
So like with that added on to with everything going on, my own personal feelings about it, it's just like I can't.
I agree. I'm not there yet. But okay, so
More
moving
upbeat
on
news.
from that, but like hopefully Wonder Woman 84 does like a decently to at least get posted online quick, because as well to like hopefully rake in more numbers or something. I don't know, because I want to.
Dude, I wouldn't be surprised.
On it,
I wouldn't be surprised if there's a very quick turnaround between Tenet getting out theaters and being released.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, oh for sure. I think they're going to be. I think we're going to see quicker turnarounds in the future.
Yeah, absolutely.
But the other random bit of DC news that I had was that Superman lives, and not Nick Cage, the ill-gotten Nick Cage movie. Although, funny side rumor here. Well, I'll plug that in a second. But the actual news is that Henry Cavill apparently has signed new contracts to be Superman in future DC film properties.
Good.
I'm just in general, I'm just excited about that. I think Man of Steel, I want to give it a rewatch. That's on my rewatch list.
Yeah. Dude, I think Man of Steel and Batman v Superman are on Hulu.
Nice.
So I might watch those.
Hell yeah. But I really thought that he deserved to flesh out that character more. I actually really liked him in that role.
Yeah. Dude, I felt like some of the criticism towards him was bullshit.
Yeah. I think people were angry about Zack. Some people were. Zack Snyder's a very polarizing director.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
I think people immediately either like hate on his work and the actors that are in it and the roles that they play, or they're like, or they're into it.
Well, yeah. When in reality, like it's the actors don't have any control over that.
Yeah, they don't. They're just there they're there for their role and to like be a part of that, whatever. But anyway, I think it's great.
Cavill's a badass.
Exactly. I just think it's great that he will have an opportunity to portray the character a little more.
Did you ever finish The Witcher?
Yeah, totally.
Dude, it's like he's so fucking good in about everything I've seen him in.
Yeah, exactly, man. Like I don't think I've really like I don't think I've disliked a role that I've seen him in either. And
dude,
that's just kind of a fun actor.
Have you watched the art film that is Enola Holmes? That's a joke. I haven't watched it. Wait, you did?
Yeah.
Oh my! How was he in it?
I was curious because I'm a sucker for anything Sherlock. And
wait, really?
Yeah, totally.
I didn't know this about you. Great.
But it was like for a kids movie, it was charming. It definitely wasn't. I don't know. It didn't captivate me.
Yeah.
Henry Cavill,
dude, just by looking at the marketing, weirdly doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, fair enough. But him as Sherlock was actually, I mean, like not for his part in it. It was just like such a smaller part than you probably led on to believe.
I heard he didn't have much screen time,
and so you're just sort of like, okay, that's cool that he was like Sherlock for a random movie.
I guarantee he was just coming off set for The Witcher.
Yeah, well, for sure. It had to have been like a side role,
Yeah, dude, it's Netflix. I mean, come on.
Yeah, but I mean,
quick tangential thing. Like Netflix's studio sites, they're producing a bunch of stuff on them at any given time.
Yeah,
that's why I'm like, oh, he was probably even set for The Witcher, and they were just like, hey, you want to be Sherlock Holmes briefly? And
your arms could fit in the shirt. Come here.
So here's what I think: Avatar's in production right now.
Oh yeah.
Guess who's on set filming a movie for Netflix called Red Notice?
Who?
The Rock.
Oh no!
The Rock is going to be the Boulder.
No! He's got to be. He will be.
He's got to be. He has to be.
That'd be so fucking dope. What if the Rock surprise twist though? He's actually Fire Lord Ozai.
Dude, what if he's ripped Toph from from the play episode?
That'd be so fucking great. Oh man. Well, yeah. I mean,
what was your rumor mill offshoot of this? By the way,
what was it? My rumor mill offshoot was, that supposedly the Flash movie that's building up over at DC and Warner Brothers has their eyes on Nicolas Cage putting on the cape for a small cameo role of some sort.
Dude, everybody's doing this. Everybody's like getting the people that never actually made the cut to get into the roles.
Yeah, dude.
Show up.
I mean,
Like,
I think it'd be such an impressive move if they were able to do that.
Definitely not a segue, but isn't it crazy how Tom Cruise is going to be Iron Man potentially?
Oh, God, dude, I can't even. Like, it's an interesting idea. I give it that, but
before we get into crazy MCU news,
yeah.
Relating to that, I do want to dunk on Marvel one time.
What?
So their Avengers game, which the pre-release reviews were so bad I chose not to buy it. The player base is already dried up. It's a month after release, and that's terrible. It's a month after release, and we're in the midst of COVID. There's no better time to be playing a game.
Yeah.
And the Avengers player base is gone.
Dang, dude. That's nuts. I mean, it just didn't look, I don't know. It didn't look great.
I watched a review, and he started off like he was going to be praising it. He was like, he's like, I just did a spin kick as Captain America and watched Thor's hammer fly across and pin the bad guy against the wall. And it was great. And then my game glitched out and it crashed.
Oh my God.
He was like, the review essentially just said like, this game has its moments of being like capturing the Avengers feel in a game, but then the rest of the time, but then it's just so unrefined and it feels lazy.
Well, they tried, I guess.
Dude, they tried. Gotta try.
Gotta try.
So yeah, get fucked Disney and Square Enix.
Well, hopefully they they can continue to do better in their in the other mediums that they are a part of, I suppose.
Here's the hope, man. With Black Widow delayed, and WandaVision being the only thing coming out in the foreseeable future, we've started getting a flow of news from Spider-Man, which is about to start filming, I think, early next year.
Yeah, start filming in New York, I think. I read.
Yeah, I heard the destinations were like New York and Iceland.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, so and that has been like Spider-Man has kind of had a steady stream of stuff coming, news flowing out, including like really random news I didn't want to believe at first. Like Jamie Foxx coming back as Electro, which seems so random. And apparently he, in a post that he like put up and deleted, he had promised that Electro wouldn't be blue. Which,
dude, I'm so fucking down. Like, don't give me. Like, I know people hated that version of Electro.
It was weird. It was a weird version of Electro, but
but I just like Jamie Foxx
for sure. Okay, so like this is my take on it. Like I will like, because the connotations are that he's gonna be pulled from the multiverse into this other,
assuming it's a slightly different Electro.
Yeah. So. I'm happy to accept Jamie Foxx into the MCU as a fan, but I'm just like, you can't negate the fact that like hopefully they build on the character and make him a little better, because they didn't do it justice to the character Electro, I think, in that movie.
Dude, I agree. I think that movie had too much going on for it to do justice to any of the characters in it.
Yeah, agreed. Speaking of one of the characters, the dude who played Dane, the dude who played
Dane DeHaan, the dude who played Green Goblin,
Harry Osborne. So the rumor has that Harry Osborne, aka Dane DeHaan here, is supposedly going to be also popping up in us.
Also, I think we're skipping the bigger note here that Andrew Garfield's coming back.
Wait, what?
Did you not see this?
No, I didn't see that.
Yeah.
Andrew Garfield's back on the table?
Yeah.
So they're officially doing a Spider-Verse.
Yeah, man.
I didn't see
At least that was a big rumor that exploded, like, I think the same day as the Electro one.
Well, I saw, maybe I just got lost in the Electro hype for some reason, but like, I didn't see any, anyway, but if they did that, like, that would be perfect, because Andrew Garfield, I would love to see Tobey Maguire reprise it also in some way, but I think Andrew Garfield would really capture that like older mentor Spider-Man at this point.
Yeah, I feel like Tobey Maguire's a bit off the deep end at this point.
His role would be some sort of like comedic role, if anything. And that's
I mean, I feel like Tobey Maguire could totally pull off the rough and tumble Spider-Verse older Spider-Man. who's sort of been through the shit, you know?
Who's sort of been through the shit.
Broken his back. Mary Jane left him.
Yeah, dude. But I think that they're really smart in building on the Spider-Man property and the Spider-Verse.
Dude, totally. You know, all I want to see is like in Spider-Verse, they had those little like holes in the realities where you could see a quick glimpse into them.
Oh yeah.
All I want to see is like, because also bigger news here, Doctor Strange was confirmed.
Yep, Doctor Strange.
All I want to see
is character basically.
All I want to see is Tom Holland and Doctor Strange like floating through the physical representation of the multiverse.
Yes,
and you can like see animated Miles Morales in a little hole. You know, see Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, see Venom, see Tom Hardy Venom.
Yes, exactly, dude.
We all know that's what Sony wants. Sony really wants some kind of validation where they could potentially bring in their characters. And I feel like there's no better opportunity than with Doctor Strange to bring in the best thing Sony's done, which is Tom fucking Hardy as Venom.
Yeah, exactly. And you know, it's interesting because Doctor Strange has all of a sudden become like the Iron Man, the new Iron Man of this phase, basically. Like,
dude, after his importance in Infinity War and Endgame, I was like, I expected him to be like the new Iron Man, pretty much.
For sure. I mean, like, especially if they're expanding on, you know, all these like alternate realities and whatnot. But like, he's popping up not only in Spider-Man 3 now, but he's popping up in, well, I guess he has a crossover with, you know,
Scarlet
Witch in his movie coming up.
Supposedly he's going to pop up right at the end of WandaVision too.
Yeah, that's what I heard too. And he also has a connection with the Loki series as well. Yeah, so
that makes total sense.
It's, you know, he's the connective character. You know how Robert Downey Jr. used to like go pop in, you know,
up at Spider-Man, Civil War, you know,
and like it's basically that now. And I'm really interested to see just how big this whole thing gets, this whole phase gets.
If I'm correct, it's like essentially with the stuff we've seen so far, it's gonna be WandaVision, Doctor Strange, Loki, Spider-Man.
Yeah.
So what I immediately think of is that shit's gonna happen in WandaVision. Doctor Strange is gonna clean it up in his movie, and the repercussions are gonna be what causes Loki and some of the events that transcribe in Spider-Man.
I agree. I think though Loki is going to have some sort of thing to do with like messing around with the universe because he's like hopping in and out of time, like, you know,
and there's like a female Loki in it too, and there's a kid Loki.
Yeah, I'm really interested to see what the fuck is going to happen. It's exciting time. Exciting time.
It's a really exciting
MCU
time.
Fan.
I mean, it's like this. They got to push the envelope, man. They got to do something at this point. They can't. You know,
though, think about this though, dude. Meanwhile, you have still, in my opinion, you have Black Widow simmering, which I'm still looking forward to seeing at some point. You have Captain America and, you know, or Falcon and the Winter Soldier, you know, coming up. You have casting rumors for King the Conqueror, which would expand into the Fantastic Four realm. You have, you know, all this stuff that we've just been talking about. Oh, wait,
actually, did you see, this just came back to me. Jackie Chan got cast in Shang-Chi.
I did hear about that, and I'm excited about that.
He's the stunt director and an unnamed character at this point.
That's awesome, dude.
So fucking sweet.
Yeah, you got Shang-Chi coming up.
I love that, like, Shang-Chi has like some like mystical elements to it, but they're keeping these like relatively grounded ideas along with the stuff that's pushing it.
Yeah.
And I love that, like, Doctor Strange is that connective tissue because he's the one that walks the line.
Exactly. And I'm interested.
Like him and Ant-Man really walk the line.
I'm really interested to see though, like, I mean, you have like, you know, like the fucking Eternals, like also like kind of like in
like
we're just supposed to be like, that movie is supposed to be like a big scope of like the
MCU, it's supposed to take place over like 3,000 years or something.
Exactly. So it's like, where does that fit into this whole, like, all of this stuff? It's really an interesting puzzle that they're like putting together.
I think the Eternals begs an interesting question because like those are characters that were around before anyone in the MCU. Exactly. So what have they been doing? Where were they at this whole time?
Hell yeah.
It's the whole thing I had with Doctor Strange and the Ancient One. Where the fuck was she during the Battle of New York?
Yeah, and that's why I love it. Like, they, the Hulk goes to get the time stone, and like literally the Ancient One's just chilling there, and you're just like, what the fuck, dude?
Well, she was chopping down the ships, dude.
Well, like if they got close to the building, but like
Fair
she
enough.
wasn't doing much else. She was just like, don't hurt my fucking property.
Yeah.
Anyway, but yeah, like I'm interested to see what how the MCU is expanding. But the other random bit of news that I caught was actually about Thor, Love and Thunder or whatever, and that is Natalie Portman during an interview basically just confirmed what everybody was thinking and stated it's based on the graphic novel of the Mighty Thor. She's going through cancer treatment and is a superhero on the side.
Oh,
like,
shit.
She said that about her character Jane Foster, which basically
whoops.
And like I love that she started that interview in a way where it seemed like it was like I'm not supposed to talk much about it, and I'm like, I feel like that's a bit much, but
that is a bit much. She could have just said it's based on the Mighty Thor.
Yeah,
and we'd have a relatively good idea. But she said it's really based on the Mighty Thor.
Exactly. And so I'm wondering how. I mean, obviously, they take elements from the various stories sometimes, and kind of like create new ones with them.
Yeah.
But I'm wondering like how heavy of an element that is in this upcoming Thor movie now, because clearly it's a big part. But like, how big of a part? Because,
I think there haven't really been any MCU films that have been based really heavily on the newer comics, like the Mighty Thor.
Yeah, agreed.
So, and I feel like the Mighty Thor, that run started in like 2015. Yeah, I want to say.
I would call it a recent run. Yeah.
Yeah, like last 5 years or so. And that was post like the MCU getting big.
Exactly.
So I think that those comics are now being made with the intent of them being, I won't say easily translated, but they're aware enough of the MCU that they're like, this could get used.
Yeah.
Like I think stylistically they shifted.
Well, and I guess I'll wrap up my MCU thoughts like on this today. Like, it's just, that's always what I've been worried about with comic book movies. I love them. Yeah. But I love comic books as probably more. and
I think one of the strongest points of the MCU is how it's taken these iconic storylines and adapted them to be something different, but paying homage to what it originally was. Like Infinity War and Endgame were not. That's not Infinity Gauntlet.
Definitely not. And which is its own amazing thing. And what I'm worried about though is that everybody thinks that the influence on movies should come from the comics, but realistically it's kind of reversed in a way. Like the movies get so popular that they cause the comics to be sort of reflective of them in some way, and it gives discredit to like the way comic books could be.
I do feel like it is sort of a two-way street of like comics can do some crazy shit and that can get a bit watered down, turned into a movie, or adjusted and turned into a movie.
Totally. Or
then the movies could get so successful that it influences the appearance of these characters in the comics.
Well, not just appearance, but it can influence the story writing and
absolutely.
And like what it can influence a lot. But I
mean, like they're not against doing crazy shit. I mean, there was that run where like Thor recently in the comics was just reincarnated because evil Captain Marvel ripped his head off like a year ago. Like it's like there's still crazy shit that happens.
Totally.
But I agree with you. There's something that rubs me wrong about a direct remake of a comic,
Yeah. At first you think you like it as a fan, but realistically, once you've seen what the MCU's done in particular, you can see the worth and what they've done. Like you were kind of saying too, like we're, kind of taking elements from things and kind of making this newer plot, this newer story out of it, and it becomes this like really own unique story itself.
I mean, like that's something that we all thought when like Civil War was coming out. That's a very poignant example. Civil War was not it's so totally different than the comic. Like going into it, I was like, how are they going to do this? Like there's no secret identities in the MCU. There's so many of the contingent things that set up that comic book run were missing in the MCU. but they took Civil War and they stuck with the essence of that comic, and they adjusted it to fit the narrative that they were speaking about.
Yeah.
And what makes me slightly worried about Thor: Love and Thunder. Granted, Taika Waititi is a gift from God.
For sure.
Whatever God the listeners are, whoever you praise.
Yeah.
Taika Waititi is a gift.
Thank Taika Waititi for.
Yeah, dude. But I have confidence it'll be good. And I actually do think the most compelling part of that comic run is Jane Foster having cancer and being worthy.
Well, for sure. It's an awesome comic run, really.
It's an awesome comic run. It just makes me sort of, her being that weirdly specific in an interview makes me worried that it's not, that it will just be the mighty Thor with quips, you know?
Yeah. And I'm really hoping that it is not that.
Yeah.
Let's not forget Christian Bale supposedly in that movie.
Oh yeah. Dude, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Dude, hoping he's Gore.
Oh, dude. At this point, that'd be fucking awesome, honestly. I mean, they could pull that off if they wanted. They really could. I hope it's Mephisto though. That's my fingers are crossed for that.
I like Mephisto. I would still wait. Okay, I want to quickly throw this back out there. Back to the Doctor Strange and all the multiversal stuff. I will say it every time we have podcasts until it happens. Can we get fucking Daredevil in on this?
Oh my fucking god, dude.
Can we get
Where's
the Netflix
Charlie
characters
Cox?
in? Can we get the Netflix characters in? I have no problems with any of those casting choices.
Neither do I. I'm gonna piggyback on that really quick and say that I've read this. Vincent D'Onofrio, or how do you say it?
Vincent D'Onofrio.
D'Onofrio. That's easy.
Kingsman.
Anyway, so I read that he is like kind of low-key lobbying for him as Kingpin to be in Spider-Man 3.
Dude, I would be so fucking down.
Dude, what's the harm? Like, what the fuck is... maybe like... I don't know.
He is the perfect Kingpin.
Yeah, dude. Like, I don't want to see anybody else play Kingpin at this moment.
Vanessa.
Anyway, on that note, let's wrap up this episode 50. It's
been a good episode.
This has been a good episode. We can thank Kevin Feige and the MCU for such a good episode.
If we were together, we would raise a glass or raise a shot of Spro.
Oh yes,
clink
to
Feige and to another 50.
To another 50, man. We'll
there
get another 50 in the books. Eventually, we'll be 1 century old, at least in terms of episodes.
And seriously, thanks to everybody who listens to this whenever we release it. Sometimes we're inconsistent, but it's all for me. It's something I enjoy a lot, getting to share my opinions about this stuff, and it's something I look forward to every week.
Absolutely, man. This podcast has become a nice like staple in my week to record and like talk about. It's nice to nerd out with somebody,
dude. Hell yeah,
that appreciates the same kind of nerdiness.
Dude,
nerdy.
It's
things.
great. It's great to nerd out and not get told to shut up on the floor of work.
Exactly. But no, dude, this is a highlight of the week, and it's nice to be able to keep this up. So, we can thank the hot dogs for listening.
Dude,
like they're consistently there, it seems like at this point.
Dude,
so thank you.
Yeah, thanks to everybody for listening every week.
Hell yeah, man. Well, we'll be back next week with episode 51. We'll actually talk about the Breaking Bad rewatch next week. Okay.
We can get caught up in our stuff.
Yeah, exactly. But
don't forget, drink some Oatly. Follow us on Instagram. Follow us on Twitter.
Oh yes,
Old Heart Space.
We're there. We're everywhere. Well, not really everywhere. Just there.
Recommend us to your friends. This week, listen to podcasts that are doing this. Recommend us to somebody who you know that has blonde hair.
Oh, boom. I like that.
We'll change it every week.
I'll
pass it to you for next week. You got to find a trait about somebody.
Fair enough. But for this week, share the Old Heart Radio with somebody you know that has blonde hair.
There we go.
Peace and chicken grease.
Cheerio.
Bye.